Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 368 of the AllYouCanHear podcast. I am one of your bizarre, strange, disgusting, weird, fucking insane co-host, Wenzel. Who are my other co-hosts?
My name is rummaging through your cupboards looking for all the little dust bunnies, Colt.
I'm Tanner.
Oh.
But Terrifier Tanner.
Oh. You scary? You don't like that Terrifier we saw at Comic-Con?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I've Comic-Con Huntsville Terrifier. You'll learn more about him next week.
Yeah, Tanner is a weird clown man who only attacks women in the very gruesome, terrifying ways. He's saying his MO live on the show.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't say that.
No, I saw in Terrifier 3, I saw a video of a kid opening a present and it exploded. It was a boy child.
Yeah, I think he kills he definitely kills men in the first one.
No, because there was this big trend. I say big. There was this random. This just happened where people are showing all these other horror icons, and because people are getting upset about Terrifier because it's like, oh well, he's not supposed to kill kids. You know, all these other horror icons never target kids, and it's just like, what?
It's like, yeah, they have.
Yeah, I need Freddy Krueger. I need Freddy Krueger to be grounded in realism. Get a fucking grip.
Freddy Krueger has never attacked a high schooler.
It's like all the teens are still kids, and they have definitely killed kids. Like that's like it's this whole like weird Gen, like it's always Gen Z, like Gen Z like can't handle horror movies, and I'm starting to believe it. They can't handle films.
I'm telling you,
they don't like sex. They don't like death. What do they even consume media wise?
Yeah, what are these kids doing? Subway surfers.
Surfers.
Anyways, welcome to Boomer Talk.
Yeah. Pat, introduce yourself.
Oh, it's Paranormal Pat.
Ooh, I bet he's never used that one before.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming out of that weird pile of clothes you keep in the corner at night, but it looks a little different when you Mr. Naked Man. Didn't like a naked woman in It Part 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What a fucking weird call. I saw it. But out of all the movie with naked women, you pull It Part 2.
Hey,
that one was scary.
She was scary. Here's another call. Woman hanging out of a glass window in the original Suspiria. Boom.
Oh, here's one. I can't think of any women.
Name a woman for $1, sir. Name a woman.
I'll do one for you, Colt. The old woman in Incantation that turns around and runs at the camera real fast.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. I really like that one.
Yeah,
it kind of made me almost shart when we first watched it.
How oddly specific. Not shit yourself and not fart. You were going to actively. I feel like you have to try to shart.
No, have you ever had a poop come out but it went back in? I did that with liquid.
That usually only happens to me if I have like food poisoning.
It's okay because all right, my butthole is like perfectly flush with the chair. So it acted like a straw, so it never went everywhere. So I just sucked in my gut real quick, and it sucked it back in.
Were you okay?
never, ever
Hold on.
ride in my car ever again.
Are you sitting asshole first on your chairs? Like no.
Wait a minute.
This is a joke. I don't do that.
How do you ever sit in a chair besides asshole first?
No, I'm saying there's
that's a good question.
Because he has butt cheeks, I imagine. It's not just like a flat surface with a butthole.
I'm saying there's no pant, there's no underpant. I'm saying anus is touching material.
You know how you sit on the toilet and you just want like to spread your cheeks so there's less wiping later? It's like that.
I don't go to sit on the toilet and go, oh, well, let me spread them first. I just
I was
sit.
about to
You're not
say,
pooping efficiently. You're not pooping efficiently. I'm a professional shitter and you are not.
Listen, if you're pooping efficiently, you'd be doing the squat shit like they do on the other side of the world in a lot of Southeast Asian countries, where you just hover over a hole, and, like in a squat position. That way, your fucking butthole and sphincter is like directly lined up with the ground, not like this backwards American shit where it's all like bunched up when you're sitting on the toilet.
Pat, I'm sorry. I'm not fucking gold. I'm fucking clearly silver, while you guys are obviously bronze.
I think we have to get in the lab.
all right. AYCH in the lab. Let's go. We got to figure this out. Which is the ideal shitting?
AYCH Poop Olympics.
Who poops the most efficient?
Form. Colt, Pat, Tanner, and Wenzel. Let's go.
We set up 4 toilets side by side.
Whose has the most color?
Which would have nothing to do with position.
It's for the artist.
Is it solid? Is it gas?
Just sit on the toilet for 15 minutes. All you do is fart the whole time.
That would be me, though. That'd be too
that happens, brother.
That happens to the best of us. I mean,
nobody could shit because everybody was too nervous to shit in front of their friends, so they all just farted.
Yeah, so we're all just sitting with our pants down, dicks out, farting on the toilet side by side for 20 minutes because we're too embarrassed to poop. Let me just say, if we are to that point where we are sitting pants at our ankles side by side on a toilet and we're too nervous to poop in front of each other, something has gone amok.
How did we get there?
We have either made so much money from this podcast, or everyone that has ever loved us has deserted us, and it's just us 4 left. There's no in between. We're either self-made millionaires
living in one house.
Yes. We're either millionaires or we're for the fucking streets, and there is no in between here.
Hey, we could be the first podcast that does live poopings every week.
Now, are you confident to say we would be the first?
At least the top 10.
Yeah, so Colt came in with about a solid 15 minutes, while Tanner came in, took him about 28 minutes. Ooh, getting real slow there, bud.
So, hey, sometimes you have those 28-minute shits, though.
Pat came in, though. Woo! 5 minutes flat.
Yep. I'm in and out, brother.
I don't know. I've known Pat a long time. Pat's been in and out in 45 seconds before.
I don't really take long poops, I don't think. Sometimes when I my tummy hurt, I'd be sitting in it.
Yeah, I shit like a deer.
Well, nobody's timing.
All right. Secretly, I've been timing you guys for years. I've been timing your poops, your pees, and your cries.
Who's crying?
We'll see that Excel sheet, man.
You know what? Add that to the lab. Who cries?
Who cries? I cried. Well, I teared up in front of Wenzel and Colt recently. I saw the Wild Robot trailer for the first time.
You haven't even seen the movie.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's a really good movie. You should watch it.
It's very good.
It's on my list.
It's getting a sequel.
Y'all, it's got 3 books.
Squeakle?
Yeah, it's got 3 books.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so wow. This episode is not about poop talk.
What? That's all I have for the week.
I've done no research.
This is the 6th installment of our cryptid series, where each of us looks up a cryptid. We do some research. We put together some notes, some stuff about it. We'll tell you about the cryptid. We each do our own depiction, drawing, whatever of it. We share.
I did my homework. I have my art with me today.
I have mine as well.
I have my art.
You did yours? Pat just lied.
Sorry. Sorry, what happened?
Pat said he has his art, and then I asked him, "Oh, did you finish?" And he didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Sorry,
I didn't say anything because like everybody talked at once and then it cut out for like a second, and I couldn't hear what anybody said.
It cut out for me too. It was a brief thing. Are you lying, Pat?
Did you finish?
Well, listen, brother, I always finish.
Heyo! Yeah, back to book talk.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be
Boomer talk is over? It's time for Gooner talk.
Oh, we don't
Finally.
want to go there. We don't
get
want
the
to go
measuring
there.
tape. Get the measuring tapes. Let's get in there.
What does that mean?
What are we getting measuring tape for?
The poop.
Oh, okay. I think everybody's on a different wavelength here.
Yeah, like I'm thinking you're gonna measure the poop, like seeing like how deep your butthole is.
Okay, well, Pat said gooner, so I wasn't even in the realm of poop.
That's why I was thinking deep of the butthole, because he said gooner.
Oh man,
We're having normal conversations.
Man, can you believe this
Sometimes
podcast is 7.5 years old?
Sometimes when we talk about silly shit in my head, or not in my head, whenever we talk about silly shit on the podcast or in person, in my head, the Day and Night song by Kid Cudi plays all the time. I just think that's the vibe. But it's the cover where it's like the lonely boner.
Yeah, the cover.
That's what plays in my head. Okay, anyway,
mango, still water.
They call me the drink.
Dude, don't even get me fucking
I don't even know what that means. Why are people saying that?
When I was a kid, they called me the juice box. No, I'm the drink.
I'm the milk.
No,
No,
Vegeta's the cup.
What?
Vegeta's the cup.
So all I know is there's a meme going around with Trunks, future Trunks, and it just says that's what they call me the drinker. That's what I've been seeing. And when Tanner first said it, I didn't know what he was talking about. But then I saw that, I was like, oh, I get it now. They call me the drink.
They call me the drink. They call him the
I don't
what?
get it, but
it's Frieza saying they call him the what? And then Trunks goes, when I was a kid, they called me the juice box.
Oh, is it part of those like raps where it's like, it's Vegeta and Piccolo's like, say it to him, tell him, and like Vegeta's like, I hate paying my taxes, I ain't never paying my taxes. Is that it?
Nope. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Someone knows.
I don't know. So we each have a cryptid. We're gonna talk about it. This is Tanner's first time being back on since Cryptids 2, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we discovered that in the call before we started. That's pretty fucking crazy.
It is crazy, and yeah. And then of course, God, it seems like I always fuck up on this. Whenever everybody does have their drawings all together, I will post those on Instagram and the Twitter so you can see, so you can know exactly what we are seeing whenever we show them to ourselves. So yeah.
Now I'm going to be sending my picture to the chat after I tell my cryptids thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah. I will say I was not a good student. I do not have my drawing ready for the class today. I will be turning it in before the final project is due, which is when this episode goes up. I just don't have it today.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I should say too, where this is gonna be the end of month, so happy Halloween.
Yeah.
What's everybody dressing up as?
A Sigma? Me.
Okay.
I guess I'm the only one dressing up.
Don't put me on the spot.
I'm getting Zelda a devil costume.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
She's gonna be a little devil.
A little devil.
What's Bailey?
And Bailey doesn't really like wearing clothes. We've also recently discovered Zelda does not recognize bells when she wears a shirt. So we have. It's probably for the best that Bells also doesn't dress up because Zelda gets very scared and hisses at her.
Wow. Wow.
We
have
dude, it's a house full of fucking characters. I live with the goddamn sitcom family of animals. It's a we put Alabama jersey on Bells the other day for the game, and you would have thought we bought a new dog into the house.
Maybe she's an Auburn fan.
Well, see, that was my theory. But then we also have a shirt for the dogs that says "No sniffs given," and it's green. Doesn't look like a football jersey at all. Also, did not like that.
Hates Green Bay.
Damn.
Yeah, fuck. You know what, Colt? I didn't think about that. Maybe she just doesn't like shirts with words on them.
Oh,
maybe that, but not Pat, Tanner, you need to buy a bunch of jerseys of different teams and just try them.
Oh yeah, but see, and Zelda likes wearing clothes, so I don't know where the confusion comes from. But no, she for real did not recognize bells for about 2 hours.
Hey, Tanner, I'll say it. Your dogs, your cat, they're baby geniuses.
great movie.
Yeah, yeah. They're when people come over to the house, they're real Einsteins, for sure. Dude, I could derail this whole podcast with stories from this week about those 3 fucking animals, but I'm here to talk about an animal of a different kind, fellas. Let me tell you about the lizard man of Scape or Swamp, aka the lizard man of Lee County. That's Lee County in South Carolina.
You say Scape or Scapor?
It's Scape or 2 words.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll probably just from here on out refer to it as Lizard Man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying that. Also called the Bishopville Monster in some circles. So this is a very hyper-specific local cryptid located in Lee County, South Carolina. So kind of close to us. First mentioned in the 1980s, specifically 1988, in a series of car vandalism investigations. So I just have a little excerpt here I'm going to read. On July 14th, 1988, the Lee County Sheriff's Office investigated a report of a car damaged overnight while parked at a home in the area of Browntown outside Bishopville, South Carolina, on the edges of Scape or Swamp. The car reportedly had tooth marks and scratches with hair and muddy footprints left behind. So, obviously you hear that. And I feel like, I don't know, at least in my neck of the woods, like just being around the type of people I was around when I was a child, that doesn't sound like super crazy. Like that could be a deer,
Yeah.
Well, 17-year-old local Christopher Davis reported to the sheriff that his car was damaged by a creature he described as green, wet-like, 7 feet tall, had 3 fingers, red eyes, skin like a lizard, and snake-like scales 2 weeks prior to this attack. And according to
sounds like my old lady.
I was going to do that. I was going to say mother-in-law.
Oh.
And according to Davis, he was driving home from work, working the night shift at a fast food restaurant, when his car got a flat tire, and after fixing it, he saw the creature walk towards him, and then the creature got on top of his car, and essentially he brake checked the creature, and the creature, rolled along merrily.
Damn, what if it was trying to help him?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, how did you know the creature didn't know how to change the tire? Maybe
that was that lizard man was from AAA.
Yeah.
So it's really funny. So pretty much outside of this summer of 1988, the lizard man of Lee County there was never really any there was like this string of reported sightings in the summer of 1988, 2 to be exact. And then what I find most fascinating about this, I find this fascinating about all these like super regionally just town specific cryptids, is how the town then jumps on board of it, because local businesses, keep in mind this was in 1988, started selling t-shirts that just said Lizard Man on it.
Yeah,
because the Chamber of Commerce was like, well, any media attention for this small town's good. So they started like doing all this stuff around it. There was actually a radio station that offered a $1 million reward to anyone that could capture the Lizard Man alive.
What the fuck?
And then on August 5th, 1988, a airman, this is an enlisted member of the United States Air Force named Kenneth Orr, filed over a police report alleging that he had encountered the Lizard Man on Highway 15, and he had shot and wounded it. He presented several scales and a small quantity of blood as evidence. Orr recanted this account 2 days later when he was arraigned for unlawfully carrying a pistol and the misdemeanor, good lord, offense of filing a false police report. According to Orr, he had hoaxed the sighting in order to keep stories about the Lizard Man in circulation.
I'm glad he's in the military.
Yeah, this was 2 weeks after the first sighting of the Lizard Man. He's like, okay, it's going away too quick. We have to bring it back up.
And it's not even the guy who originated the story.
Yeah, not even in the same ballpark. So then the Lizard Man just kind of becomes like this local town legend. Like, actually, if you go to the Discover South Carolina website, they have a whole page about the Lizard Man where they're like, Scotland may have the Loch Ness Monster, and the Pacific Northwest has the Sasquatch. Puerto Rico has the Chupacabra. Nepal has the Yeti, but none of them can hold a candle to the Lizard Man. They have like a whole thing about like the Lizard Man on like the Discover South Carolina website. But also what I find funny is so the Lizard Man just kind of remains this town legend for years. In 2008, CNN in a report mentioned that the Lizard Man potentially damaged a vehicle in Bishopville again. A couple said their vehicle had been damaged and there had been blood traces. They ended up that the blood traces belonged to a dog, which I'm like, what kind of dog can fuck up a car like that? And then the police were like, well, it's probably a coyote, which again answers no questions. And then in 2015, they were like, hey, we have some pictures of the Lizard Man. And then in August 2017, this one is the one I find the most crazy. The South Carolina Emergency Management Division sent a humorous tweet, quote, regarding possible paranormal activity during the solar eclipse that passed over the area, hinting that people of Lee and Sumter counties should remain vigilant for sightings of the Lizard Man.
Fuck.
I just find that so fucking crazy that dude, August 2017 was a wild time. People were believing everything.
Dude, 2017 feels like a lifetime ago. That was the year I graduated high school, but oh god, it feels like forever ago.
That was the year we started this podcast. Me saying that sounds wild. But have y'all ever heard that story about how like there was that news station in like maybe the mid to late 40s, maybe early 50s, that like were playing like a radio play, and they're
Orson Welles,
War of the Worlds.
Yeah, and like people killed themselves. So it's shocking that didn't happen with this tweet in August 2017. People were like, "Oh, the Lizard Man's gonna get me." So yeah,
I remember the clown situation happening, and people were going batshit, and that was like 2016.
No, that was after.
Yeah,
right?
clowns. Clown Situation was like 2018, 2019. It was like, because I kind of remember Clown Situation kind of happening into COVID a little bit. But also this is going to be like my stand-in picture. There's actually a statue of the
what?
Man.
Yeah, Tanner just cut out like a crazy.
Am I back?
Yeah. Okay. There's a statue of what?
Of the Lizard Man. I just sent. This is the official City of Bishopville, South Carolina website, and they have a statue dedicated to the Lizard Man. In Bishopville, and like there's a whole little article attached. They made they made Lizard Man weirdly attractive.
Kind of looks like a frog with a body.
Okay, I'm convinced Colt's never seen a frog.
I was gonna say, what frog looks like this?
Colt has never seen a frog in his life. Okay, great. But yeah, that's the Lizard Man of Lee County, South Carolina. Just one of those weird, hyper regional, I mean, literally town specific cryptids that I always find myself kind of attracted to.
I'm curious, does South Carolina have insurance for cryptid, auto insurance for cryptid incidents? Because I'm thinking some of these residents did something stupid and damaged their vehicle, and they're blaming it on cryptids or Lizard Man.
Well, you know, you always see those videos of people filming their cars getting attacked by bears. Like from their house?
Yes.
I wonder if Lizard Man would fall under... Because, I'm not so sure if a bear attacked my car that my insurance would cover that.
I don't know.
You gotta get bear insurance.
Yeah, I guess I just need bear insurance.
And Lizard Man insurance.
And Lizard Man insurance, for sure. Yeah, I've never thought of that.
Something I wanted to say is because whenever you told us about this Lizard Man, I thought the name sounded familiar, and I remember learning this forever ago. So the name Scape or Swamp originates from the Revolutionary War. It's because it used to be called Scape Whore Swamp.
Oh,
because a woman was running away from a British soldier who, like, I think she was a prostitute or something. So when she was running away, she went into the swamp. So they said he threatened to kill her or whatever, and so they called her a Scape Whore, and so that's what they named the swamp after,
because she escaped and she was a prostitute.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And then she digivolved into the Lizard Man.
But then
that'd be Digimon though.
But then that's also why they changed the name to Or, not Whore, because they
respect sex work, obviously.
I think it just sounds bad to say, hey.
Kind of weird just not to completely rename it. They're like, well, obviously we can call it Scape Whore, so Scape Or? Well, anyways, yeah, that's the Lizard Man of Lee County.
I think we can find him.
I've never been more confident we could find one of the cryptids we've talked about on one of these episodes besides this one.
Yep.
I mean, South Carolina's close. We can be in South Carolina in like 6 hours. Now, I don't know where Lee County is in South Carolina, but I'm sure if we can get into the state, we can find it.
Michael, you know what? I'm going to ask this question. I think we should apply it to all of ours. What would we do if we caught our cryptid in this situation? What would we do with Lizardman? Would we be chill? Would we try to befriend it, or would we blow its head off?
I'm trying to go to... Dude, if me and my friends found ET, we would beat them with hammers. I think we would try to cash in on that $1 million reward from that radio station.
Yeah,
right.
I looked it up. That $1 million today is worth like 2,666,000. Blah blah blah.
Hope they put it in a bank account so it gets that interest.
I am 6.5 hours away from the Lee County courthouse, so I could be there conceivably before the start of the workday tomorrow.
Wow!
With information regarding the Lizard Man.
All right, here we are though. Like, what if we dress one of us up as a Lizard Man and like take them to the courthouse, but like as we're taking them, they're like violently thrashing as we hold them down.
I think Pat should be Lizard Man.
I think Pat should be Lizard
Dude,
Man.
I don't know why, but yeah, my first thought was also Pat as Lizard Man. I think because I think Pat would be the easiest one to get in a cage.
What?
Yeah, I've always thought about that. It's always been Pat.
We could have Lizard Man on a leash. We would have to put Lizard Man in a fucking crate or something.
Yeah, we're not perverts. Come on.
For some reason, we put a ball gag in the Lizard Man's mouth.
We put a fully leather polo onesie on this Lizard Man.
The Lizard Man wears assless chaps for the. It's the way he lives.
Look at Lizard Man have on a puppy mask.
You want to see the Lizard Man's dick?
No Lizard Man at Pride.
What the fuck?
Man, this episode has taken a lot of turns I did not see it going in. This is giving me a great idea of how I'm going to depict Lizard Man.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm just thinking about us during a pride parade. Fucking the Lizard Man section comes up. It's just a bunch of kinked out lizard men.
It's
Dude,
like, what do you think the L and the LGBTQ stands for?
Lizard Man.
Oh, yep. Lizard Man.
Lesbians.
Dude, that'd be so cool if Pride just became like the horror mascots, like Lizard Man, Babadook. We talked about Art the Clown earlier. He can be there.
Mothman. I think like most cryptids are into everything.
Yeah, well, Mothman is a gay icon.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Did you see that statue they have in Point Pleasant? Like, he is like cheeked up.
Caked.
He is like, they're putting money in his butt crack. So obviously he's turning tricks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's find Mothman.
He's making it clap. All right, who's next?
All right, when I'm next, by the way, for the people listening. Whenever I came to finding my creature, I was like, we always do. I really do enjoy the cryptids like Tanner's, but I feel like there's so many that are just basically the same thing, but regional to other areas.
Yeah.
So I wanted to branch out a little bit to do something that is technically regional, but it's something we've never covered before, though that's why I picked it.
Well, to be fair, so don't feel bad about this, Colt. To be fair, I did do a creature one time that's mostly folklore rather than actually like being a cryptid. You know, it kind of skirts between both. And like, so like just to preface for people listening, if you're thinking like, oh well, that doesn't count, it's like, fuck you. It's like there's tall tales, there's folk tales, it all kind of feeds into each other. It's fine. Like Colt said, there's just the cryptids that do exist, you know, they've been covered to death, and then there are obscure ones that like there really isn't much to go off of, so we're trying to milk as much time from this as possible.
Be doing this for another 50 years, so give us a break.
Yeah, and yeah, so it just gives us a larger pool to pull from. And then also too, Cody even did a creature that is like more of a not more of a like a physical creature, but more of a I don't even know, like a ghost kind of. So
a psychic entity or something.
Yeah. So like it like where the range here is like, you know, we're saying cryptid, but there's a little bit of nuance here.
So that's why I made mine up completely.
Yeah.
Neat cryptid.
Just something I saw in my backyard yesterday.
I do like the idea of that. But I did not do that. I actually looked into this one. So you guys ready to find out?
Yeah, man, yeah.
All right, so the fun thing is I was Googling pronunciation, and every time I tried to find it, it would show me letters I don't know how to say. It was like letters you'd see like runes almost, like Norse runes. I didn't know how to say those. Not really Norse runes, but it reminded me. So I'm just going to say it the way I think it said, and I know how to say it in Manx. It's called the Fenodyree or Fenodyree. one of those. That's the way I think. And in Manx, it is the Farishin.
Farishin?
I think Farishin sounds a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It just rolls off the tongue easier, and it just looks cooler. But if you're not aware, the Fenodyree is part of the folklore of the Isle of Man. It's similar to a sprite or a fairy, but they are butt naked. And but it's okay that they're butt naked because they're covered in copious amounts of body hair. So that they're just pretty awesome, if you ask me. They're comparable to the Anglo-Scottish brownie, which is a creature that is.
That's me, buddy.
Can't say anything.
What was that? What was that?
I can't go in on the joke. I'm only white.
Oh yeah, true.
But it's known to help humans. It performs all kinds of tasks from hard to easy. There's stories of it transporting huge blocks of stone. How did the pyramids get made? Or cutting grass, repairing things, or any kind of chore. They do chores or tasks for food or milk, basically. So they're pretty cool little creatures, if you ask me. They're mostly peaceful and helpful, but if you are overcritical or you provoke them, they will get pissed at you and they can become dangerous. So don't, like, if they fuck up your yard, like, yeah, you cut my grass, but it looks bad. Don't say anything. Just be like, thank you. Like, if it's the 5-year-old that's like, I'll cut your yard for $10, and he fucks it up real bad, you still got to give him that money. You can't just say you fucked up real bad. And
just wait for them to leave, and you'll cut it fine later.
Yeah. Never pay a child to do chores because they always half-ass it. That's why I only hire old people.
I'm just trying to imagine a 5-year-old trying to cut the yard.
It's pretty easy to imagine. It's just me. Alabama is the #1 capital of child labor.
Child lawn care?
Yes, actually. You know what? Yes. And they also worked in like wasn't there like an article recently-ish where it was like a car plant that had children like making the cars?
Yeah, it was the Hyundai plant.
That's crazy.
Allegedly.
But they did it twice. They got caught
allegedly.
like years ago, and then they got caught again. They're like, oops, we were joking.
Allegedly.
But some writers suggest that the Fenodyree Farishin is a giant or big and shaggy with fiery eyes and stronger than any man. But I don't think. But when it comes to giant, it's giant in the sense that the brownie is like pretty damn small, or any other fairy size thing is giant in comparison. But what this person, I think they're a writer, AYCH Lenny, they explain it measured 2 feet in height, make it a giant among the good people fairies.
I'm just a 2-foot fairy is a crazy thing to imagine.
It's not a fairy. It's just comparable to a fairy.
Okay.
Because the behavior it has. Because fairies are sprites. They're not necessarily evil, but if you're a dick to them, they're probably gonna get evil.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty mischievous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, regardless, fairy folk are so fucking dangerous. Like I you say that that like they're not necessarily evil, but they would do shit that like could be considered very just harmful. But like to them, since they're different from us, how they view things and stuff is very different. I say this like I know fairy folk. I don't. Continue, Colt.
So okay, I did my research. All right, I did the research, and I have some encounters. I got both of mine from Reddit. One real bunny ears, in quotation, and we have one that happened in their imagination. All right, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Holy fuck. Okay.
All right, so this first one comes from the Humanoid Encounters subreddit. It's not necessarily them calling it a Fenodyree, but when I read, I was like, that sounds a lot like a Fenodyree. But the post it's tagged little people. I saw a gnome, but I don't think I was supposed to see him. This was posted 3 years ago with 934 upvotes.
How many comments are on it?
Over 200, 272.
Fuck yes.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Colt, real quick though, can you say all of this in Manx?
I don't know any of it because you said something in the chat the other day, and I don't know what you said.
I literally just said, "Oh, it's the Farishin." It was 3 words.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know the language.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to read this Reddit post and then the next one. Another Redditor suggested to also post a story here, so he posted this somewhere else. Throwaway because I have told the story to no one except for my family, who get angry every time I bring it up. If you had a similar experience, feel free to share. When I was still in elementary school, me and my family used to spend all summer at my great uncle's house. Me and my family slept in the same room except for my sister, who'd sleep on the bed in the living room, and my great uncle, who'd sleep in his own room. Everybody has a great uncle that sleeps in their own room. That one was a pretty normal day. We went to the beach, we ate some pizza, then at around 10 p.m. we all went to sleep. At around 4 a.m. I suddenly woke up because someone was throwing things around in the kitchen, plastic cups, containers, etc. The doors opened, so I was able to see the light coming from the kitchen. So when I had enough of all that noise, I got up from the bed. At first, something seemed off. I thought I was having some sort of strange dream, and as any rational kid would do, I tried to see if I could bend fire like in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Who wouldn't want to firebend, right? I couldn't. I wasn't dreaming. This is the first time I've read that part. Actually, I didn't read that part, and that caught me off guard. My father wasn't in his bed, but I didn't care much since maybe he was just in the bathroom. My great uncle was fairly old, had trouble sleeping at night, so I thought he just went to the kitchen to get some water. Uncle, are you all right? All this noise woke me up. I said, while making my way to the kitchen. To my surprise, the room was empty, but the light was on and the fridge was open with a can of Coke laying in front of it. What? I thought. I looked up to the shelf that was to my right and I saw what was making that noise. Some sort of short creature around 30 centimeters tall. A gnome, you'd say, was looking at me terrified. He was terrified because I saw him. I thought to myself, he's going to hurt me. I better fake it. What? Hold on. He's going to hurt me. Better if I fake to faint. And so I did. After a couple of seconds, I opened my eyes and I saw that I wasn't on the kitchen floor anymore. I was in a strange, colorful tunnel. But I got scared again and closed my eyes one more time. After a minute, it felt like eternity. I reopened them and I was laying in my bed. There were still sounds coming from the kitchen, but I was scared and just waited for them to stop. And before sunrise, they did. That wasn't the only encounter I had with that dude, but I never saw it again. I'd only hear him because I was and am too scared to see him again. I don't know what he was doing exactly, but I'm sure I wasn't supposed to see him. And that's the story.
I just love the idea of this guy trying to bring up this story, and they're like, "Can you shut the fuck up about this? Don't bring up the gnome again."
Matthew, you're 34 years old. Fucking drop it.
We told you that's not a gnome. That was your other great uncle.
I also just love the idea of being scared of something that is 1 foot tall.
I mean, people lose their shits whenever a small little teacup dog, gets aggressive.
Okay, well, that's different. They're demonic, so.
Whatever.
It's a crazy comparison.
Yeah, how can someone be scared of something small like a snake or a scorpion or a spider or something?
Okay, well, if gnomes are poisonous, sure, you can be scared of them.
Oh my god, but they have hands and arms and a thinking brain.
Okay, guess what? So do babies. Are you scared of babies?
They're not the same thing, you fuckhead.
They're height-wise, they're pretty similar.
Height-wise, sure, but they can speak, they can think, they can perform tasks, they can make tools.
Smart babies.
Yeah, everybody knows babies are only venomous for the first 3 months.
Yeah, before they have teeth.
Gnomes are venomous their whole life.
That's true.
What do you think they point on their heads for?
Stabbing, so that their saliva can go inside.
Well, God, Tanner.
Hey, I've been got. Sorry, guys.
Fuck.
I just think that was the most unique way I've seen someone try to see if they were dreaming ever. I guess I completely forgot about that when I first read this. Am I sleeping? I better try to firebend.
To try to firebend. I also like the idea of this guy being like 19 when this story takes place.
I like the idea of him being 35.
He's actually the great uncle.
And the great uncle, that was me.
Why did y'all show great uncle Reddit? Now he's just making up stories.
And he's blaming it on the kid who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
All right, this next story. Okay. I have to send a picture first, and then I'm going to explain the picture in the story that they provide. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
I'm going to send it on Instagram because I have it saved to my phone.
Okay.
Oh, no shit.
Okay. Oh my God. Pat, that's a great picture of Chucky, by the way, that he has on Instagram. There's a plug.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Follow John.
My Instagram. John lost his name. Early plug.
All right.
Well, that's the only one you get this episode, so.
What?
Yeah.
All right, here's the picture.
3. We just gave you 3.
I sent the wrong picture. This is the picture.
I'm laughing at the wrong. Oh my God! Now I'm laughing at both pictures.
What the fuck is this?
All right, the guy playing the guitar. Every time he's on my TikTok For You page, he's always live. I screenshot it just to see how many times he pops up for me. I love that guy. But the creature I sent, I'm going to explain that.
Why? How did they get a picture of Cooper or Monkey? That's one of my dogs. If nobody knows.
All right, this post is on the. Oh my God, I don't know. It's the. Let me see. All right, it's from the Carl Jung and the Jungian Psychology Theory and Philosophy subreddit.
Okay, that's a good sign.
How the fuck did you end up there?
This is tagged as a personal experience, and it's titled "I met a Fenodyree in active imagination." And he didn't put the body of his post with the picture. It's just the picture of that creature as the post, but his actual content of him experiencing it is in the comments. It's an interesting way to go about it.
Okay.
The following is what I typed after this active imagination experience. Week later, just now, I found out that the thing I met seems to be a Manx folklore. Oh, they're called a Fenodyree. He called himself Killstone. Okay.
Wow. That's a badass name.
It is.
That is a cool name, yeah.
Killstone, a very hairy and very old-looking little fairy or pixie that was supposed to be an expression of love. He said to love others more, to let the love break through, and to look people I love in the eyes. He also said to listen to when I'm told something, and if they're telling me something, then it's important to listen. His hair was light brown and slightly dirty blonde, but not a distinct shade. His hair was over his body, seemed like a really old dog's hair that is a little long. He seemed oily. Lots of his fur was covering lots of his face. Okay, more information. I should add that he doesn't have the body of a dog, like in the image. I was too lazy to Photoshop a skinny and hairy humanoid body. I should also add that he was small. I don't know how small, but definitely smaller than a human, but larger than a small monkey. The image I created of his face is very close to what he looked like, except he had more hair covering his face. From what I remember, it seemed to take place underground, not in hell or suffering. I had no idea that these guys existed in folklore. I'm not sure if that was the collective unconscious or just that everything was already been thought up by someone else. The Wikipedia page on the Fenodyree says they're helpful to humans, such as he was to me in my active imagination. It actually may just be a singular creature in folklore. I'm not sure. Feelings about this? I'm so drawn to the way he looked, the colors of the hair, the way his hair was situated on his face, and his oiliness. To me, he was more interesting than his message. I'm puzzled by his name, though, because his message was to love and listen, but his name was Killstone. Edit. I just found out in one tale he moved many stones overnight to help some people that wanted them, but were too heavy. So I guess that's where part of his name comes from. And that's it.
God,
this is
to be able to do the drugs this guy did.
This, I love this picture.
I just love the idea of not being lazy enough to just don't Photoshop the made up creature that you saw in your active imagination, but to say, sorry guys, it wasn't really a dog. I just didn't feel like doing a little humanoid body. It's such a beast move.
The thing is, I think this should be the standard for this creature. This should be the image on the wiki page.
You should post that picture along with my picture.
I will. I will.
Yeah, I think that picture is absolutely necessary for the Instagram slideshow.
Fuck.
Right. And then maybe just a side-by-side comparison of that picture, Lucas and Monkey. Just,
Hey, maybe they all are the Ferrishin.
Just say, do I have one in my fucking kitchen? Also, too, if he's a little fairy, why does he fucking why can't he figure out not to step in his own shit?
This fairy got brain damage.
The fairy ways are different from ours, Wenzel. How could we comment on that?
Oh yeah, well, when he does that, I have to throw him in the bathtub. So,
all right.
Would Killstone not be in God's choir?
All right, I did my art for this today. I did it in probably like an hour, but I was so proud of the outcome that I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. I put aside probably like 4 hours to do it.
Holy fuck.
I finished it very quickly. But yeah, I got an explanation for mine as well. It's a Fenodyree that's helping finish the Fortnite Battle Pass.
Fuck yes, dude.
Cool. That's a great picture.
If you look closely, you can see he's eating Doritos and drinking milk.
Yep.
He's got little nipples that are like hairless, but like there's hair coming from around them.
Mm-hmm.
And I drew him with a little belly.
Colt, you're weirdly good at drawing feet.
I actually looked at reference photos because that was very hard to do. Same thing with the hands. The one that's holding the controller, no. But the one holding controller was hard to draw, and I struggled.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Feet and hands aren't easy, so hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's the Ferrishin Fenodyree. I love my little dude. Also, his horn that's smaller is because he wears the headset and he's the gamer Ferrishin.
Oh, so he has a
headset horn.
Headset horn.
Hell yeah.
That's incredible.
Thank you. All right, what's up next?
That would be me. I will be going third in this carousel of cryptids. And like we discussed earlier, like this is a loose definition of cryptids this year. My story is more ghost than cryptid, but this is all under the purview of the paranormal. But this story I am pulling from not only like lore and legend, but a family member of my partner has had a very similar paranormal experience to the entity that I will be describing in my portion here, which is the Sihuanaba. It is a Salvadoran spirit, and its origins date all the way back to like Mayan times in Central America. But basically, the origin of it, as the legend goes, is that there was a beautiful woman named, see, I practice saying this name, but I still don't always get it right. Sihuet, it's spelled Sihuet, Huehuet, sometimes spelled with a C instead of an S, but there's many different spellings to all the names of the characters and entities in the story. But again, it starts with a beautiful woman who was highly desired in her land. She was beautiful in every way imaginable. Beautiful hair, smile, eyes, figure. She was the object of lust and love for all the men in her village. Countless men came to her to propose to her, but she turned them all down. She just sort of loved to bask in like the attention and the adoration, and she loved to spend her days like bathing and like lounging in the river and staring at her own reflection, because like she was just just gorgeous woman, and she like was just very proud of herself and all the attention she was getting. Eventually, one suitor did manage to take her hand in marriage, and that was the prince Jason, who was in some stories he's the son of a king, in some stories he's the son of the Mayan god Tlaloc, who is the god of rain, earthly fertility, and water. And depending on the version, because there's several different versions of the story, of course, of the last thousands of years, but she was content to be the wife of a prince for a time. Like they got married, they had a child named Sepito, but over time she became dissatisfied with her life. She missed the longing gaze and the attention of all the other men in the village. So when her husband was often away at war or protecting the border of El Salvador and Guatemala, she would like sneak away to meet her lovers. She frequently would go back to her river to to lounge and to to sort of gaze at her own beauty. She abandoned her child, essentially, Sepito, who was left with nothing to eat and would gorge himself on volcanic ashes just to survive. And eventually her mother-in-law came to discover, how she was abandoning her wifely duties, and she told her husband, the king Tlaloc, or the god Tlaloc, and he warned Sihuet that if she didn't amend her ways, there would be consequences, and she blew him off. She decided she was going to do her own thing, and eventually she became cursed. She was bound for all time to the river that she loved to spend her time in, and she was stricken with ugliness, and so her beauty was taken from her, and so was her child. Her child was left to wander the earth and search for the mother that never spent time with him. And Sepito is his own Salvadoran like supernatural entity, and that's a whole other story with what involves with him. But for her, she lost her name, which meant beautiful woman, and she was given the new name Sihuanaba, and so now she's for all time bound to river. She's this spirit that appears late at night and sort of beckons men to join her in the water. So what she appears to people who claim to have seen her, she always appears with her back to the viewer. Like, she's washing her hair. She's like either naked from the back, or she has like some, towels on, or like, loose clothes. And she's always sort of is flirtatious and, in some way trying to get the man, almost usually men, to follow her into the river. And when they finally do reach her, she turns around and she reveals a hideous face. And that face, depending on the story, is different. Sometimes it's a horse's face, sometimes a human skull, sometimes it's a horse's skull, or some other monstrous countenance. And there are some other stories that she lures children away because, she had a child herself that she never cared for. So she's looking for her lost Sepito. And those children that she does manage to lure away, she grabs them in her firm grip, and upon her grasp, the child loses their mind, and she leads them astray into the woods where they're just left to wander until they die because they've been driven mad and they don't know which way is home. Now, it is said there are some wards to defend yourself against Sihuanaba if you happen to encounter her. They said either performing the sign of the cross will repel her, or biting the edge of a machete will ward her away.
Why that one?
I mean, why either of those? Because the sign of a cross, wouldn't apply to something of a completely different divinity. But
yeah, something that's like as like just that old and pre-colonization, right?
Well, technically, this would be pre-colonization, but like I guess because like just over thousands of years, like obviously, like like Christianity and Catholicism has been like mixed into these colonial theories. So like she goes from like this Mayan woman to like just like a Christian, like a
demon.
A demon. Demon.
She'd be demonized.
Spirit. Yeah. So obviously, I didn't get an explanation as to why the machete is like biting. It specifically is used in war, but they say that particular custom to ward off the Sihuanaba is around the border towns between El Salvador and Guatemala. That's maybe a more local ward.
Maybe she thinks it's scary.
Maybe.
Maybe she's like, "Whoa, you biting a knife? That's freaky. Fuck you. I'm out of here."
Whoa, what the fuck?
You're the real demon.
It's like maybe it's like a Tandro whenever he has to escape the dream in the Mugen Train movie. He has to cut himself.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. I don't know how it's like that, but
breaking like the hypnotic gaze or something. I don't know. Whatever.
I mean,
my question is is there a way to be like, damn, you're kind of bad though? As she turns around, like, what if you're into it?
Then I guess you're just you're dragged underwater and you drown or you're driven insane, which is usually what happens when men see the evil monstrous face and they go crazy or they disappear.
What if I ask like what's her personality? Like, what if I try to get to know her?
Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. In her past life, if she's trying to lure men to their deaths, I mean, in her past life, she didn't really care for being in a relationship. So I don't think that's something you want to pursue, Colt.
What if I said I was an ally?
Oh,
what the fuck does that mean?
I got no answer. But that's sort of the generalized story. There's a expanded version of her origin story that includes that she performed like witchcraft and she had potions, and then like she was going to use her serums and creams and potions and lotions to poison her husband, the prince, and through machinations like install herself as the new queen with her current lover. And then there's one version where she in order to get rid of her husband, she feeds him a potion when he's home from war that turns him into a monster, like a two-headed monster that's killed by the guards, and her scheme is found out. Her scheme is always dissolved, or she's always she's always stricken with a curse at the end of the story. But how the road to get there is, it's depending on the story, it's a little bit different. But to sort of to wrap up the story, my partner told me that he has a family member that would tell this story, how he experienced something very similar to the Sihuanaba. He had an uncle who was working construction many years ago on a site near a river, and the foreman and the other workers there would say, "Hey, we're staying on this site out of town, so just stick around to encampment here. Don't go off into the woods or the water. Especially if you hear other guys talking about, oh, I'm going to meet a girl down by the river. Don't engage with her. Don't listen to them." We had guys go off to the river and they never came back for work. So listen to us and don't do that. And his uncle was like, whatever, that's the story. And then one day after a shift was done, his uncle and an uncle's friend, they were just hanging out by the river talking, and time slipped away. It went from evening to night. And then as they're talking, there hears someone trying to talk over them. And they looked over, they could see a person coming from the voices from. They saw a woman kind of sitting off in a little like raised bit of land in the water by the river. She said, "What are you doing? Come over here. There's more fun over here." And their friend is like, "Oh, sure, why not? This is that story. Let's find out if it's real." So he starts to wade out into the water where the woman was, and the uncle followed behind, like in the sense is like, "Oh, your friend's about to do something stupid. Let's try to follow it as just so they don't get themselves in trouble." And so the friend made it over to where the woman was alleged to be, and when she turned around, she had no face. But as I asked my partner to clarify, she had nothing where the face was, but he said that the uncle and the friend both saw that she had no eyes and no flesh on her face. And then when they saw that, they just ran back to the camp and never left that area until, the job was done.
I don't think I like that. If I saw that, I would loudly exclaim, "I don't like this." Maybe
if I
don't like it,
I'd be like, shit, here we go again, and then just light her up.
Oh yeah,
because Wenzel's always carrying.
Not today.
I think we should all make our own Glock dookies. You guys know what Glock dookies are?
No, I don't. Colt, why don't you explain to us?
Talk again?
Yes, it is. Welcome to my Glock Dookie TED Talk. A Glock Dookie is something that originated in prisons because you can't have guns. You'd have a water bottle. You'd drink the water, obviously. Then you get your poop and you shove it in a water bottle, make it wet and sloshy in the bottle to make sure it can come out. And whenever you see your target, you go, bam! You squirt Glock Dookie at people. And I think if we carry Glock Dookies, we could gross out spirits. That's the end of my TED Talk.
You remember how earlier I said if we were sitting by each other on toilets, we were either very successful or in squalor? I'm going to put Glock Dookie in that category as well.
But I would put Glock Dookie more on the side of squalor.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
Now, here's another fun thing. If you Google Glock Dookie, you get a fucking wild ass picture of I'm not telling anyone to do it.
Water bottle?
No, it's a Glock covered in Dookie.
Oh.
That just seems impractical.
Yeah.
And unsafe.
Sounds like you would jam.
I just don't know how you get in a situation where you poop on your gun.
Well, here's how you do it. Hey, this is Wenzel. Welcome to my Glock Dookie head talk. How would you get in a situation where your Glock gets covered in shit? Well, here's how that's going to happen. Imagine a gunman's coming up to you with a Glock trained on you, right? But you got one in the chamber yourself. Where? In your ass. And you're ready to fucking blow. So what you do is you turn facing your ass in a 90-degree angle, pointed directly at the assailant. You pull down your pants 5 seconds flat, and you just let it rip.
Now, if you want to be a quick draw situation, I suggest mini skirts, because that is like a wow, like a wachow. You shake it up, your hole's automatically facing. Now, if you're wearing pants, you might accidentally pull down the pants and then like projectile immediately onto the floor, aka you're shooting your foot off with your dookie.
That's why timing is imperative for this. If you want to go into a more quieter route, get a toilet roll tube as a silencer.
So if you see your uncle in a miniskirt, just know he's thinking about the safety of the family.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick to carrying my throwing stars.
Yeah, I'll stick to my katana. Thank you.
Don't ask me where I keep that.
Well, you have anything else about your story?
Well, that's the end of my story, but I do have a picture. I planned a bigger one, but I wasn't going to have time to have that ready in order for the show. But I did draw something real quick before the start of the show, so I'm going to send that in our Insta chat.
All right.
I'm excited.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That is amazing.
And I know what picture you used for the reference too, for the horse head.
Yeah, so I guess to give everybody kind of a description of this quick doodle that Pat did, it is a woman who is very much naked, glistening with water, back turned to us. You can see ass, a little bit of side boob, and as she's looking at us, she's putting her hair back. She's also holding a cloth to hide her nipples. She's putting her hair back, and then it's a horse's head. But the horse's head is the very iconic meme now of weird angles of like close-up angle of a horse's head, but like from the back towards they're like coming like the behind like the ear or the eye or whatever. So you get this like weird like oh gosh, I don't know how to describe it. It's like uncanny how they look. They look like not horses. They look weird.
That's a fantastic image.
It's the thank you. It's that very extreme perspective. It's a horse side eye reaction meme.
Side eye. Thank you.
So I have a naked woman glistening with water, and she's pulling her hair back, revealing the horse face. But it's that meme horse face.
What was that sound you did, Pat?
Instant replay, please.
Now, where did you draw this, Pat? Is my question. Like, were you at work? Were you at home? Driving?
I was in my studio, aka the back third portion of my second living room.
Okay. Did you show this to Eddie?
No, he hasn't seen this yet.
You should.
Nice.
You should show that to everyone in your house as soon as we finish.
Yeah, that definitely seems like this is going on the fridge.
Yeah, 100%.
If not my body.
Picture. Yeah, this is your first tattoo, Pat.
Honestly, Pat, that would be a awesome first tattoo.
Yeah, I really hope my partner appreciates how I'm sharing our culture together.
Pat, I don't know if I could be your friend if you got that as a tattoo.
Oh, I know exactly. Like that would that's like going to war. Like you're bros forever.
Okay.
Well,
So
that's the end.
Anybody else?
No, I think that's it. All right.
Wouldn't that be crazy if Wenzel just didn't have one?
Wouldn't be crazier than you think.
Uh-oh.
Okay, for real this time. All right. So, this one is I also had to go to Reddit for this because
It's a great place. Nothing but truth.
It's a great place. A lot of like weird crazy creatures I had to look up, and this one really was probably the craziest one I had seen. But real quick, I need everybody to do their best Hawk Tua impression right now. Not a bit. Everybody do one. This leads into my creature. I promise. Tanner, you have to do it. Hawk Tua, do it.
I'm trying to think. What? There's so.
Don't think,
actually spit.
Just do your Hawk Tua impression.
Whoa!
Oh my God. Okay.
Grapefruit.
What?
Grapefruit technique.
Pineapple technique.
All right. Thank you, guys. Has nothing to do with my creature, actually.
Awesome.
No.
Of course it
Delete audio.
No. So my creature is the very infamous, very violent, very obscure Sky Spitter.
Oh. I mean, it's kind of related.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll find out. You'll find out here in a second. So I'm going to tell you this story. The first hand account of the person who encountered this creature. This is the only time this has been encountered singularly by this one person. This story is full of peril, full of danger, full of just absolute disgusting, just vile content. So be warned. Is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
All right.
Locked and loaded.
I have to get myself ready. On a Sunday, I already fucked up.
It was a Tuesday.
It wasn't even a Sunday. On a sunny morning in 1975, a science teacher was attacked by a bizarre being that was hovering above his Long Island home. This aggressive and nebulous creature shocked this young father and almost certainly changed the way he should look at the sky for the remainder of his life. Garden City Junior High School science teacher Tom Durkle. I think that's how you pronounce his name, actually. I didn't check beforehand. Woke up that bright, warm summer morning of 1975 feeling no different than he usually had. After having gotten ready for the workday, he stepped out of his Oyster Bay home and was about to climb into his car when he noticed something unusual suspended just above his house. It was what appeared to be a very small, dark cloud floating far below the scattered oh, fuck me. I didn't read this part. Okay.
Cumulonimbus?
No. Cumulocirrus clouds? Whatever. However you pronounce it. That
weather people are pissed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That drifted at a much higher altitude. Naturally, as a man of science, Durkle was intrigued by the odd vaporous object that seemed to be defying meteorological laws by traveling against the prevailing wind. He stared in wonder as the cloud seemed to move and slightly enlarge as he watched it. And then this is his science teacher-esque description of it. This basketball-sized cloud floated back and forth across the peak of the roof, changing in shape from a small globular mass to a larger ovoid and finally becoming an abstract, multi-curved, dark, vaporous something. It finally measured about 6 feet in height and 1.5 feet in width. Already perplexed by this undulating anomaly, Durkle would be traumatized by what happened next. According to the mystified educator, this sentient cloud-like creature seemed to open its wispy maw and inhale. As if this weren't strange enough, the thing then pursed what Durkle described as lips and expectorated a deluge of water down upon the teacher and his vehicle. The now drenched Durkle could only watch in bewilderment as the cloud creature simply dissolved before his eyes. Wasting no time, the teacher ran into his house, bagged the wet shirt, which contained the only tangible evidence of his fantastic encounter, and changed into dry clothes. Whatever plans Durkle may have had for that sun-drenched day were postponed as he made a beeline to his lab at Garden City Junior High. Once there, the teacher ran a pH test on his soaked shirt and found, to both his relief as well as consternation, that the substance that he and his car had been exposed to was nothing more exotic or toxic than H2O. And that's how that ended.
Sounds like rain, but also did he get squirted on?
Yeah, he got spat on.
The sky squirter.
The sky spitter spat on him, and that's all he talked about for the rest of his day with his kids. And
I feel like there's like a certain cloud that just drops all the rain at once. I feel like that's a rare occurrence in nature, but I feel like that probably happened.
I don't know. I'm not a science nerd, so
what if there was just a bird hidden in a cloud and it just pissed a lot?
That's a story for Nope.
Well, birds don't piss.
Yeah, their piss and shit is mixed together from their butt and sex hole.
Yeah.
I wish I had that, honestly. It'd be so much easier.
That's really it. It's just that one brief encounter that I guess affected him for the rest of his fucking life, apparently. It was briefly like put into a book about like the weird, bizarre, and strange or whatever, and that's really it. There was a podcast I saw that covered the sky spitter, but yeah. So I'm going to send you my drawing that took me a long time to make. I worked on it very hard. It's kind of crazy, but here you go.
Are you serious?
What?
Wenzel did a cloud. Wenzel just talked about a rain cloud. Wenzel made up one like I was doing with my bit, and he actually just made a cryptid out of a cloud.
You know, that would be so much funnier, but that is not what happened. The sky spitter is a legit story. And I mean, to be fair, there was no other description. It's just a cloud.
It just rained really hard for a little bit.
It was one singular spit. Okay, so let's not call it rain, Colt. All right.
Now, are there any other artistic interpretations?
No, fucker. There is one. It's like a oh god, I'd have to fucking find it. Never mind. I'm not looking for it. There's one where somebody like photoshopped like a jellyfish with a cloud or whatever. There's one where it's like a weird skull looking face put into a cloud that some people use as a representation, but it's just like, from his description, it was just a fucking cloud.
It's just a regular cloud.
Like, there's no other thing. So whenever I look this creature up, this seemed the most interesting because A, I thought it'd be really easy to tell. B, really easy to draw.
Well,
I think this is the best cryptid episode we've ever done.
Yeah, I would agree.
Damn, that's crazy.
I mean, there's not much I could argue against. I mean, this is obviously a 5 out of 5 stars episode.
All right, Tanner,
it's the best episode I've been on this decade.
Oh, in the last 4 years is good. Tanner, you're gonna have to like show up, work hard on that art piece because you got some real competition.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to come with the fire. I mean, I know a lot of people call me the quiet artist of the group.
The one that suffers the most, creates the most beautiful art.
Yep. So I will draw inspiration from our talk about the Lizard Man earlier in BDSM gear. And try to do Lizard Man and Lee County, South Carolina justice.
Why don't you give Lizard Man a big cock?
Why didn't you give your cloud one?
Because that wasn't in the description.
Wenzel, mine didn't fucking play video games.
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know that.
Now, what if you... All right, Wenzel, here's a good idea. This is an alternate universe situation. You draw the cloud. It has a cloud penis and balls, and it's pissing. And that's the spit.
Ooh.
I mean, in this alternate universe, did the guy say that it pursed its lips?
What?
Did you not just listen to what I fucking said for this goddamn sky
I did, but like, thinking about it more, this dude is insane.
He's a middle school science teacher, Colt. Give him some credit. He had nothing to gain from this.
I'm going to say something really offensive. I'm smarter. I like to start out every conversation with that. I think I'm smarter than every middle school science teacher I've had. 3 teachers.
I could say claim. For certain I am.
But that's a bold claim. But with our track record and with the teachers I'm thinking of, I would agree.
I'm also better at video games than every teacher I've had.
Like, I don't know if I told the story on the podcast, but I still remember saying that, like, or I remember this question being asked of, like, where do dogs sweat? And it was like, oh, they sweat from their fucking paws or their nose. And then everybody laughed at me. He's like, no, they don't. They fucking pant. Yet it's a fucking fact. And like after that, I questioned everything after that.
That happened in history class.
and then like later, like I remember like what? Like looking it up. I'm like, no, I was fucking right. That fucking asshole. Like these bitches are stupid.
Well, it
should have said
that our teachers were, most of them were coaches first.
That's true.
Most of them were coaches, or they were fucking they're fucking just like strong conservative Christian fucking bitches.
We ain't talking about evolution this time. I don't believe in that nonsense.
We ain't talking about it this time.
Well, no, because there was one teacher who like would literally not cover it, or he would dance around it because it made him uncomfortable.
I don't like questioning my God.
Like, dude, you're fucking
man.
lame.
Yeah, our school they didn't teach us evolution, but they did talk about having an open relationship with another teacher at school while they were at class.
God,
Hey,
I think about it all the time. Like, if I just had my brain in my younger self's body, I think like I wouldn't make the children's lives as much of a hell. I would fuck with the teachers so much. I think that would be where most of the fun is, like fucking with these 28-year-olds to 80-year-olds, because there were some old ass fucking teachers. I think that'd be very fun.
I agree. These asshole pieces of shits. But the teachers that I loved, I would make sure that I'd let them know that they're good and they are loved.
I do stand up for the teachers I like.
I'm just imagining Colt stealing like comedy bits from now, but like in 2014 and saying them.
But nobody,
yeah, nobody laughing and be like, it's like the Back to the Future bit, like, your kids are really gonna love that one.
Like none of
hey,
them would
skibbity toilet.
Like, it's like, Colt, did you see that tweet that somebody tweeted? It's from like 2017, but they essentially said like hawk a skibbity or something.
Yes.
It's like that. It's just like, the great prophet Escape.
I saw a tweet from like 2011 where it said like hawk to spinning on that thing.
Oh yeah,
it's very close.
Yeah. Oh man,
fuck.
Yeah, Colt does only crowd work in 2015.
Yeah, I'm imagining 16 to 17-year-old Colt attempting crowd work. God.
Dude, if I was medicated as a kid, it would have been over. I would have been successful.
It's been over. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Good shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening. You can find us, the All You Can Hear podcast, on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, Overcast, YouTube. We're on YouTube.
Shout out.
Google. Yep. Where we upload our episodes to there as well. So you can check that out. Leave us a review, feedback, subscribe, do whatever. Give us 5 stars. It really helps us out. You can follow us on Twitter at AYCH Podcast. You can follow the Backlog Boys. You can follow Cage and Greatness. You can follow the instruction booklet. They're all great. You can follow us on Blue Sky, aychnpodcast.bsky.social. You can follow us on Instagram at AYCH Podcast, where I'll post our interpretations on there. You can follow us on twitch.tv/AllYouCanHear, where Tanner has recently streamed Still Wakes the Deep, and the VODs for those would go up on our YouTube, All You Can Hear, and the VODs for Instruction Booklet and our past VODs are all up there on YouTube as well. And lastly, you can follow me, Wenzel, on Twitter at WenzelWilking. You can follow my art Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky's World of Wenzel. You can follow my Bookstagram, Wenzel Banters, and my Linktree has links for everything, including my Letterboxd, my Goodreads, and my music board.
My name Colt. Follow me on Twitter at ColtD00, Blue Sky, ColtD99. Do us all a favor. Send edits of Mike from Breaking Bad, but he's kawaii. Like, I want a cutesy Mike edits.
Okay. Yeah.
You heard him, folks.
Get on it, listeners. I don't really have social media, I guess. You follow all the AYCH accounts. By the time this episode comes out, I should be done with Still Wakes the Deep. Should be 2 VODs up on the YouTube. Definitely go watch those. And I guess follow me on Blue Sky, Tanner1495. Maybe I'll post some stuff on there occasionally.
I mean, hey, Blue Sky's booming again right now because they're removing the block stuff.
Feature. Yeah, I saw that earlier. I like a bunch of people I used to follow on Twitter randomly followed me today on Blue Sky. I was like, that's weird. And then somebody posted the screenshot from Twitter. It's like, we're getting rid of the block feature where anything you say publicly can be seen by anyone. And it's like, okay.
Still waiting on those group DMs. As soon as that happens, that's going to be pretty awesome. I've only DM'd Tanner so far.
Yep, Colt's the only person I've DM'd on Blue Sky.
And lastly, you can follow me, Patrick, on pretty much any social platform that's your pleasure that's not inflamed. Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, Letterboxd, Kara, all of them is simply put at John lost his name.
Well, hell yeah. That's an episode, fellas.
Happy Halloween.
That was the first episode we've all done together in like 6 months.
Oh, yeah.